Okay. Right. 1 second. Sorry, I took a drink literally just before. I need to clear my throat. 1 minute. Okay. Hang on. Also, I need to double check something. Yep. Okay, we are good to go. Alright. Testing. Yep. Okay. Right. Okay. So, before we start the usual preamble for tonight, I'm just gonna let's start again. It's been one of those days for me. Brain has not been firing on all cylinders. Not brain fog, just bleh. Okay. 3, 2, 1, start. Right. So, start off things with our usual preamble. Good evening. There is no audio or video from what we're going to be watching tonight, mainly because of obviously copyright reasons. Below, I get right there. Go. I'll get right one day. There is the synchronized timer, so that you can tell exactly why is that not working. Oh, there you go. This is why I test it. There you go. There you go. Right. So basically that's just so you can tell exactly what point we are in the episode if you're watching this like on the VOD or something later, and it can be, yeah, it can just be used as a marker for myself as well. If anything interesting happens, probably won't, but you know, the option's there. And we will be having a break between the two episodes for probably only a couple of minutes, you know, time to get yourself a drink, stretch your legs. And then when the episodes start, I will do a 5-second lead in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And then I'll press play, start the sync timer, and we can watch. And there's normally only about a second, maybe or two between, you know, that happening. So it's pretty much on the line with that one. Right. Okay, tonight I've been wanting to rewatch The Expanse for a while. We watched it on this before, back when the watch parties was a thing, but never really sort of never really sort of thought to do. Oh, my brain is not with it today. Never thought to rewatch it again. There we go. I'm got about 6 thoughts going on in my head at once there. Until sort of fairly recently. The main reason for that is I've started playing Star Trek Adventures again with some of my friends, and in the same week decided to watch For All Mankind. That's supposed to be pretty good. There's a lot of sci-fi I am trying to sort of find the time to watch, especially now that Alien Earth has ended, which was really pretty good. I will not say any spoilers, but it's that's all I will say about it, is because it is very good. But yeah, that, and to say the Star Trek Adventures has reignited my ooh, interesting. Can some count it as a prequel to The Expanse? I might have to look into that then. Yeah, this is, now, if memory serves me correctly with this, I believe originally, and somebody can very much correct me if I'm wrong this one, but originally there was an RPG. There were then books made on the RPG. There was then a show made on the books, and they're now making, or have made, I think it's probably come out by now, poster for Jamestown Lunar Colony. Okay. Yeah, there's a yeah, I'm pretty sure there's either in the process of being developed or been developed or is out soon a RPG based on this, because obviously they are kind of not much as tinkering with the next season, because there's 6 seasons at the moment. They are very much looking into it, but it's that kind of, it's in development hell, you know, the way things go with these sort of things. Okay, as I say, this show pretty much got my attention within the first episode, because whilst it isn't necessarily a hard sci-fi in that it is absolutely, you know, bang, these are the rules. It deals with a lot of issues that I've had with so-called sci-fi shows in the past. Now, by hard sci-fi, I don't mean Star Trek or stuff like that, or even Battlestar Galactica, or you know, anything like that. Those are not hard sci-fi. It's for my definitions, because they are Like, look, we have like the warp drive, which although is adjacent to some real life hypothesis for, I think it's called the Albuquerque drive. The warp drive is like, yeah, this is how it does it. How? It just does, sort of thing. And then you got at the other end of the spectrum, you've got things like Star Wars, which is science fantasy. But this is the first show slash film that claims to be a hard sci-fi that actually feels, for the most part, realistic. Like, it addresses certain issues I've always had with certain, again, sci-fi shows, namely to do with how do they handle the high gravity. On Star Trek, it's the inertia fields. Okay, brilliant. There you go. Bush, it's done. It's addressed. You don't have to worry about it until it fails. Star Wars doesn't even address it at all. It's just like, yeah, the hyperdrive, turn it on, type in your calculations, assuming the drive works, boom, you're going. It doesn't worry about inertia or anything like that. It doesn't pretend to. Whereas this actually addresses it. It also addresses the things about what would happen to humans if they started living off-world and things like that. And it has probably some of my favourite characters I have had in sci-fi for a very, very long time. One of them, unfortunately, we don't meet until I think season 2. I think maybe the end of season 2, maybe beginning of season 3. They're not in the first season, I know that. But basically, once you start getting to Mars, there's a particular character I quite like. But we are introduced to some really good characters early on, and I know some people not so much complain, but like there is a bit of a shift in the way that things are set up between like the first few episodes and how it ends. But that's basically what the books are like anyway, because it's just the way things are. But honestly, I think it handles it pretty well. There is some really good things that they deal with towards the end of season 6, and I'm keeping things as vague as possible because I do not want to spoil things for anybody who's been watching it later. So some of the production team worked on both shows. Ooh, that's interesting. So what's that for? That's for Mankind. Okay. So what I'll ask is, obviously now most people would not do this, but I feel like I have to say it. If you have seen this show before, we are not at home to Captain spoilers at all, unless... Oh, that's not working. No, my spoiler thing's not working. Why is that not working? Oh, there we go. Yeah, if the spoiler alert comes on, that means we are... I will be... There you go. I keep thinking it's flipped there. Spoiler alert. If that is on, that means we are talking about spoilery stuff. So you may want to not listen. Obviously, in chat, there's that chance you may accidentally see something. But if that's on, it means I'm talking about. Basically, if the alerts, for fuck's sake, if the alerts are on, then it means I'm talking about spoilers. So there you go. Right. So let's get things all queued up, as I say. Now, before we do, there's 10 episodes in this. So what I'm thinking we would do is do 2 this week, 3 the next week, 3 the week after, and then the last 2. So 2, 3, 3, 2. So basically, 2, 3, 3, 2. So it all syncs up because... trying to think what it's going to say. It's right. There is one more thing I do need to kind of warn people about, and it's not necessarily a graphic stuff. Although some of the scenes are a bit ooh, but not in a ridiculous, over-the-top graphic way, because of the nature of this being in space. There are a few scenes which can be reminiscent of Phasmophobia, not because there's much water, except on maybe 1 or 2 episodes, but there are scenes where people are like staring out into the void of space. And I know a few people have, like, a couple of friends have mentioned in the past, it's like the only reason why they love sci-fi shows, but they can't watch The Expanse because there's a couple of scenes where people will be looking out into like the void of space or whatever, and it's just like an ocean. It has that same vibe to it. I freaking love it because of the exact reason. But for some people, just keep that in mind. Yeah. Also, and it's not going to happen in this season. There is an episode. I think it's in season 5, maybe 6. That there's one particular scene I will not be able to watch because it is very, very unpleasant for me. I will let you know when it's coming up because I can remember what the episode involves. Not necessarily the name, but it's like, oh, this is the episode with the So yeah, it's not particularly graphic from all accounts, but it's for me personally, it's like one of my biggest fears. So it doesn't last that long. It's only like about sort of a brief scene, but it's enough. It's absolutely enough. Okay. So, the 2 episodes we are going to be watching tonight are Dulciana and The Big Empty. I will just read out the blurb for the season. This doesn't really spoil things, which is pretty good. The disappearance of rich girl turned political activist Julia Mao links the lives of Ceres detective, and Ceres is a asteroid, Joe Miller, aka Thomas Jane, accidental ship captain James Holden, Stephen Strait, and UN politician Christian Avasarala, who played by the most excellent Sora Agadashlu, who has one of those voices that is very, very distinctive. And I can guarantee you have heard her before because she is played a character in Mass Effect 2, I think 3. She basically plays Tully's aunt, and she's been in a lot of other sci-fi stuff. So you have definitely 100% heard her. Maybe not seen her, but you've definitely heard her before. So here we go. Okay, so we're going to queue up, like I say, for episode 1. Get everything on there. Now, there's one thing that they used to do. I do vaguely remember before we start is the opening sequence for The Expanse. I can't remember when they started doing it. There's a skip intro. We do not skip intros here, but every so often the intro there'll be subtle details that change depending upon the episode and what's been happening in the plot and things like that. Again, it doesn't happen every episode, but it happens enough that you probably want to watch the intro. I think from around sort of season 2 they start doing it, maybe. But either way, we do not skip the intros. Okay, let's rock and roll. So, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Nudity, violence, alcohol use, foul language, sexual contact. Yeah, so this gives you like a sort of that's like the ice caps melting. I love this intro music. Mars. Yeah, Mars Colony. And it's just like, as somebody who has a high appreciation of astronomy, this show scratches that mental itch. Loader. Yeah, that's coming. That's a legit language as well. The Belter loader language. Oh, here we go. In the 21st century, humans have colonized the solar system. The UN controls Earth. Mars has an independent military power. The inner planets depend on the resources of the asteroid belt. Belters live and work in space. In the belt, air and water are more precious than gold, as you'd expect. For decades, tensions have been rising. Earth, Mars, and the belt are now on the brink of war. All this will take is a single spark. Yeah, Yeah, like how they handle the zero G is great in this. They must have done lots of those. What would you call it? Um, you know, when people get in a plane and they do those maneuvers that simulate zero G. And obviously there's CGI used in this, definitely, but there's quite a few practical models and effects. Yeah. One drop of water, or two. That's the thing, like maneuvering in. I've never tried it myself. I'd love to, um, but maneuvering in zero G is scopula. Yeah, mag boots. Yep, and also for budget reasons, you can't have everybody in every scene floating around in zero G. So whilst some of the stuff is not exactly 100% perfect, they do at least address it. It's like, how do they handle hyperacceleration? Like this. How do they handle walking around in zero gravity? Mag boots. This still looks really good. Oh yeah, there you go, the old fusion core. Looks very Event Horizon, doesn't it? Like I said, looks very Event Horizon. Oh, oh, that is a heck of a shot. Imagine the very institute looking that place. Yes. That is so well done. Remember right, as I said, the way they described. Again, I've got to get terminology right. I think that the Belter language is a legitimate language that's been created. Also, it's a what they call it, a Creole language or something. Okay. Sorry. So, oh, whilst you may not know exactly what the words mean, you can get an idea by the tone and inflection. Like Like when he said that, the Wella Wella. Oh, yeah, I think yeah, it's a Creole language. There you go. It actually comes up there. This is why I like. Hmm. I think where I've seen her before. Maybe she's got one of those faces. So a cat on my lap right now. What are you doing, madam? But there isn't any rain on the series, so yeah. See, low gravity. Yeah. Plus, there's the whole radiation damage to the cells. So yeah, yeah, you got like the new cop versus the grizzled old cop. Hmm. Now what's all that about? Hmm. He's not exactly a What's the word I'm looking for? What's the word? Not corrupt, but he's definitely a little bit on the iffy side. Also, I love the technology in this. It's like you know exactly what the technology is just by the way they interact with it. It's just way more advanced. An ice trawler. Oh, that's pretty damn impressive. Look at that hair coming from the cat. Oh, that's not good. Oh, someone's just lost an arm. Yeah. Bye bye, arm. Bye bye. Oh. What? I forgot about some of these things. That's got to be difficult in zero gravity. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. Although the announcement of thrust correction does make me giggle. Ooh, that is some gnarly prosthetic work there. Hello. And there's one of my favourite characters right there, Amos. Dude is. Yeah. Although I do like the Naomi character. She's very good. In fact, I like pretty much all of the main characters. Some more than others, obviously. Why did that? Yeah. Unfortunately, the actor there with the headphones on turned out to be, to a lot of people's surprise, a bit of a naughty individual. I will say no more. Shame, really, because I did used to like the character. And this is why he bought the crowbar. Oh, yeah, you don't want to see him tackle out. Ooh. I mean, even the ship designs looks like something that we would come up with today, and that's a oh, he's not having a good day, is he? Yeah, I think. Oh, yeah, he's starting to become a little bit unhinged. Yeah, you may recognise him. Yes, that is Jonathan Banks, who is going, whose character is going completely unhinged. Yeah, he's having a complete mental break. Definitely having a mental break. Well, the thing is, talking to your plants is a legitimate way of legitimate thing. But so that's the thing. Sometimes people like get to a level and they're like, you know what, this is good. You know, you got that right level of responsibility, the right balance of duties and tasks. Some people just enjoy being lower management. Hey, everyone's got their own collection of that stuff. Scopuli. Hmm. Yeah, so that's pretty much a standard thing. It's like, yeah, you hear a Mayday signal, you go and help. It's like maritime law, but in space, basically. Yeah, that's a that's a no-no. I'm trying to remember how far in the future this is set. I think it's only like something like I know probably they probably showed it at the beginning. I completely blanked. Yeah, it's about yeah. So it starts in 2350. So it's about 250 years. So the technology improvement seems believable. Fusion drive and the other stuff. Also, that dude is pretty damn ripped. That's really good. I appreciate that. Yeah. Some nights you just can't sleep, so you're just thinking, right, if I can't do anything, might as well be productive. Is that someone's pet or is that a stowaway? Inter- that sounds familiar. Yeah. I'm trying to listen to the signal. Oh, there you go. Yep, you got confirmation there's somebody alive on there. But is it a trap? That's the question. Earth and Luna. There she is. Avasarala. Well, you little shit. Now, if I remember rightly, excuse me, that dude there plays Julian Bashir's father in Deep Space Nine. Let's check. Yes. Yeah, see, the water levels have risen a little bit. You know, husband. Yes, that's the thing. It's like you've got just enough like the real stuff mixed in with CGI that it looks believable. Oh, damn. In Earth gravity. Ugh. Elf stuff. God, the sort of distended digits and limbs is like that looks like somebody could literally be like that. Whew. And air filters again. This is yeah. He's definitely a bit sort of like cynical. Hmm. He's definitely covering his outfit. So, oh shit. This is why you keep your mouth shut in these sort of situations. Yeah, here we go. This is what talking about we've seen the effects of low G. This is how they handle high G. Oh, that panning shot. Oh, hello. Yep. And I like that they show that this is not a pleasant experience to be in high G. It is very unpleasant. There's a lot of ship smut in this show, by the way. And no, I'm not gonna spoil it. No. Hi. Let's just say they get a lot of things right. Obviously, within the realms of fiction, sure, but they get a lot of things right. Mac boots. Love those Mac boots. I love the banter. Yeah, she ain't wrong. Like, she ain't gonna tell, but you know what? If he uh if he says it's someone else, let's just say as well. There's also a ship that what's what I'm looking for? There is a ship that becomes like a main feature of this show later. Um, a lot of people in No Man's Sky built their version of it when the Corvette update, and I was very close to doing that myself. but I found a very nice build to build a Battlestar, so I went with that instead. Well, Battlestar looking, not the right scale, just the way it looks. Sorry, one moment. What? I know, you're being cute. I do like his hat. Sorry. Hmm. Yes, he is. Ooh. I'm definitely getting the vibe there's a history between them two. Yep, there's definitely a history between them two. Also, Octavia's a great name. I fucking love that name. I mean, I don't have kids myself, but if I had a daughter, I definitely think Octavia would probably be one of their middle names. Maybe even their first name. Oh yeah, because they don't have view screens in this, do they? Or windows as such. Yeah, which yeah, 'cause you don't really. I mean, maybe like in small windows, but not enough to act out like, as a viewing window. I remember when it first came out, a lot of people were saying like, "Is Amos and Naomi, are they a couple?" And it's like, no, they're just good friends. you know, I mean, does he like her? Yeah, but more like a sister sort of thing. Also, the guy who plays Amos has said that he, especially, and you notice this in some of the later episodes as well, he plays him as if he is autistic because he's known a few people, spoke with and stuff like that, and he was a bit concerned, with some of the families that some autistic fans were going to be like offended, and we're like, no, dude, you've been playing him so damn well. No, it's not a like it wasn't being played like for laughs or for ridicule. It's just like, yeah, he's just a dude who just happens to be on the spectrum. Freaking, like he was. It's one of the reasons why he hangs around with Naomi is because he's like, yeah, she doesn't treat him or didn't treat him, I should say, in the history like he was. And it's just like, yeah, he's just a dude I get on with. Excuse me. Again, like on No Man's Sky, when you go onto one of the abandoned freighters, this is what it reminds me of. Stuff like that. Especially like just see like random, like suit parts floating by, or the dust particles in the air. Everything's turned off and cold as heck. Seriously, Hello Games, do a sponsorship with the Expanse people. Trust me, it will. Good question. How are they sending the distress beacon with dead comms? Hmm. Hmm. But why would I stick it underneath the desk? Wasn't someone the Wasn't she talking to the Belter about stealth technology earlier? A, s- like a stealth ship that can is also a pirate vessel. Yep. Yes, very nice. It's I do enjoy how each of the factions has their own tech vibe to it as well. Chirp birdie. That is quite cute. The fact it can like hover without flapping its wings because of the low gravity is quite amusing. Yes, the iffy filters. Hmm. Yeah, it's very good. Hello. Hi. Come. Back. Oh, oh, it's lost. The space battle sequences in this are, again, semi-realistic. This is gonna sting. Oops. Again for the Canterbury. But yeah, you're heading towards them. That's a big boom. And what's the betting that she was with child? Just like a few torpedo hits, the containment around the fusion drive collapses. Boom. There's not even any wreckage. Often maybe like little scatterings here and there. Yeah, and they're on basically a lifeboat. Okay. Right. So, right, we are at the break point. So we're going to have probably about a couple of minutes break, maybe even less than that, and then we're going to start on episode 2. So we'll be back shortly. Okay, okay, I'm back. I'm back. Yeah, certain fuzzball decided she wanted to have some kitty milk. Not saying the word out loud because otherwise she'll think she's getting some more. Oh, I forgot how good this show is already. It's like seriously, even like the first episode just got my attention when I first saw it many years ago. I honestly do think it kind of improves around season two, but that's the way with a lot of sci-fi shows I've noticed is that the the first few episodes are a little bit rough because they're settling in, establishing things, and sometimes the plot changes because some the pilot or whatever. Um, but it is. I think it definitely improves as the show as it goes on. Um, for me, I think peak season was I think season five. That's not to say season six was bad. Just I think season five, if it's the same one I'm thinking of, I think it always just like it goes like just that little bit above. Mm. Mm. So, right, let's go quick check something, and then I shall continue. Make sure it's all been done correctly. Should be okay, but need to check. Where's it going? Where's it going? Where's it going? Okay, we are good. Almost done. Almost done. Almost done. There you go. So to make sure everything was all going away. Right. So I'm going to say thing again as before because obviously we're now on episode 2 and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And this episode is called. There you go. The Big Empty. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Flavouring for the coffin. Oh, some flashing lights apparently come up in this episode as well. So that's had a little warning flash up. A quiet toast. Yeah, that's like that, yeah. Hmm. And then they. Yeah, that's gonna be that's gonna be haunted him for a long time. That. Yep. Because whilst the ship basically fell apart from that, there's a lot of debris. Here it comes. So basically, it's like shrapnel, traveling at very high velocities in like a bubble. Yeah, that's gonna be a pickle. Hi. Oh, that's not good. I mean, that's like because they're fighting debris, they're fighting losing air pressure, possibly more pirates out there. It's a bit of a pickle. Ah, it looks closed. Stabilizing. Yay! Yep, someone's gonna be bruised. Oops, I got fireworks going off. No, emotions are obviously high because of what just happened. See, based on novels by James S.A. And I've just missed his last name. Those panning, you know, those panning shots of the ship and just seeing the starfield go past as well. I was like, oh yes, very pleasing. What's the matter, Fuzzball? It's okay. Right, you can sit on my lap while there's fireworks outside. Just trying to think. Is it Diwali at the moment? What's going on? Oh, that sucks. Oh no, no, Diwali's in 10 days. This might be that, although it's one of the sort of ones. It's. I think we're in the lead up period to it, so it's not like one specific day. It's like Christmas has like a lead up, like over a sort of thing. So that's the thing about living in London. There's always some cultural thing going on. I'm not complaining. I just want to know what it is. I'm a nosy bugger, and because there's quite a few parklands near me as well. It's happens quite often, and for the most part, Madam here is okay with fireworks if I'm about. Three different locks on the door. Interesting. Okay, sorry. Hmm. You call it a voice. Also heard of it. Oh, I've seen that dude before. Francois Chow. What's that? There. Okay. I very much get Arasaka vibes from this family. I suppose that's kind of the point. It's like a racing jumpsuit. 97% of a water ration. There's so many people in this that I've seen and thinking, I've seen you in something else. Yeah, gravity torture. You basically torture them by doing nothing. It's alright, it's okay. It's okay. So like 3 generations in space has done that to a human. Well, maybe 4. Emotional torture. He's a very complex character, Avasarala. Like, when you first watch it, I couldn't decide if she is she like evil, is she just really protective of Earth? What's going on? And then I realized she's just human. Oh yeah, that'd be a great idea. Fix the radio or flush all oxygen they've got into space. Yep, he's having a panic attack. Panic attacks are not fun. I know people like to mock them, but they're really not. It's like your brain gets stuck in a loop. Although I did see an interesting article that said that if you've got somebody who you know who is a panic attack starting to build, get them to think of somehow like either a joke or whatever, or something completely ridiculous and confusing to make their brain just go, "Excuse me, what did you just say?" Because it helps like interrupt that panic process and resets your brain to, "What the fuck." That's a lot of water for series. There we go. I'll get it right. Oh, so you're a bigot now, are you? Right, right, okay. He's got a point though. He has got a point. Yeah, you keep spaces like that for the elite. Things are going to happen. Ah, yes, humans. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Just seeing the odd little small bits of debris just flying overhead. Oh, oh, bye bye, spanner or wrench. Bye bye. That's gone. That's a lot of firework going off right now. Now, knowing Amos, like, that can definitely, to an outsider, come across as a threat. But from him, he's being literal. It's like, yeah, as far as he's not threatening Holden, he's just saying, as far as he's concerned, Naomi's the captain. So, but if you didn't know him, oh, that was a loud one. Okay, Fuzzball's run off somewhere. Oh, he's not being threatening. He's being, yeah, and especially for a dude who's as big as he is, and like that. Like I say, there's a reason why Amos is one of my favourite freaking characters, especially knowing how the actor played him. Honestly, I think from my point of view, I've only seen really two, maybe three people who weren't on the spectrum play, maybe four actually, play autistic characters. Oh dear. Oh, he's chundered in his helmet. That's not good. That's actually some pretty smart thinking. Yeah, he just looked at the O2. Oh, that was close. Yeah, he knows there's not much of that sweet O2 left. Yes, yes, he is. He's very much trying to distract you because if you're distracted, you won't panic in, and it gives him something to focus on as well, so he doesn't panic. And of course, the second rule of IT support, or engineering, I should say. Well, number one, pray to the Omnissiah. Rule two, turn it off and on again. Rule three, if in doubt, hit it. Hi. Come on. Oh, sweet oxygen. Not a lot though. Well, shit. I was like, you mother beep beep. Yeah. CPR. Because if CPR is done properly, you should end up fracturing someone's ribs if it's done properly. It's not just gentle presses. No. You've got to do it hard enough that there's a very good chance somebody's ribs will crack when you do proper CPR. That's the whole point. Cardio, pulmonary resuscitation. You're basically pressing on the heart and the lungs to start doing their jobs again. And to be fair to the ribs, that's kind of what they're there for. They're to protect your heart and lungs. Oh, she is such. Yeah, good analogy. Yeah. Yeah. That look on the face was like, yeah, this is something different. This is. Mm. They, now, watching this, you think is like, which one of this crew is the engineer character? It's like this is why I love this crew as a group with the characters. I don't like one of the actors, but the characters I do like. You got your medic, you got your pilot, you got your captain, you've got your basically security officer, you got your engineer. And what's kind of sort of engineer security, I would say. Yeah. Hmm. Yes, the OPA, Outer Planets Alliance, because pretty much humanity hasn't gone past the asteroid belt, basically. I, okay, that was risky. A little drone. Yeah, that's probably not filtered, mate. So it's probably going to taste disgusting. Although for you, considering probably the water you've had, that is actually probably really good quality. Yeah, that's not going to go well for them. So he'll claim police. Push too hard. See, he's not. I can put it. He's not. When they say what you would call a dirty cut a cop, but definitely a smudged one. You didn't see anything. If you've ever read the I think it's like the Discworld novels, they have a very similar system with regards to the Thieves Guild. It's like do little things like that here and there, fine, but you cross a line. So he deliberately, yeah, that would not have been a pleasant way to go. Death by high gravity. Like, oh great, Mars Tech, lovely. Mars Tech. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Everyone's being pragmatic. Not bad. Better than I had a little while ago. Again, I love the designs in this. Hmm. Ah, that's the type of guy. Yes. Nice. The Scopuli again. Yeah, she definitely seems like someone who can, for the most part, handle herself. But hmm, what was in that power core we saw in episode one? Not much you can do, is there? Now, who's it going to be? Who is it? It came close. Yep. So just sit down, chill, maybe have a nap. Let them come to you. Don't use up your resources. Oh, fudge. Oh, even better. Absolutely fantastic. Like the flagship of the Martian Navy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That is what you call out of the frying pan into the fire. That's that's a good point. Yeah, Ceres has just lost a big chunk of its resources just when it's needed. Excuse me. That was an interesting thing. See how he poured the liquid. Like, of course, low gravity, but there is. Then the station's still rotating. Wow. God, that's, was it uh, galactic Tinder? Sorry, system Tinder. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. We saw that in the message earlier. That she was definitely with regards to her father, maybe the rest of her family, being very defiant. Yes. That's the look of a guy who's like, this case is interesting me. Smart move. And transmit. Well, that's a pickle. Oh, that's a big beefy ship. That is a big ship. And that's a warship. Hello. Yeah, that's the equivalent of like a runabout encountering like a sovereign class. Oh, I got to say, I love the design. That is a oh, those engines. I think they're ion engines. Well, flip. And once again, I am reminded by how much I'm enjoying a thing because the time goes by really, really quickly. And that's 2 episodes. I was very close to thinking of doing 3 episodes for tonight, but like I said, I want things to sort of sync up, and it'd be like, we start, sorry, end the season, not like halfway through a stream sort of thing. But yeah, so next week will be obviously we're gonna watch this for a while until all the way done. Mainly because if I'm being honest, I wanted to watch The Expanse again, and I like it, and I got inspiration for it. Before tonight, that's me pretty much done. I've got a cat who is well, it doesn't matter. Not too happy about the fireworks, but she'll be all right. So yes, next week, like I said yesterday, probably still be doing some Fallout stuff. I did try and install some of the mods I wanted to try and increase things for like the 40k content of it, but I was having a little bit of issues with them. Not enough to brick my system, but enough it's like those particular mods I've had to sort of put to one side, and there's quite a few other ones I can try as well. It's just literally a matter of trying them and add them slowly one at a time, and I'll try and do some more tomorrow. But it's not a I've not ruined things, but we'll see how it goes. Right, so that's me done for tonight. Like I say, I'll wait back until streaming until next week on Tuesday. For now, I hope everybody has a good weekend. And sorry, cats in the way. Good night.